Hello, welcome to Sapta Sindhu Forum. Uh, there is a huge escalation and a huge drop down within hours ago uh, between US and Qatar. Actually, a lot of analysts and a lot of military professionals inside and outside Pentagon and also across the world estimated that Iran would attack some sort of uh, retaliation in the form of missile attacks in Strait of Hormuz. So yeah, that is anticipated, and eventually uh, within hours of bombing the three nuclear sites in Iran. Iran retaliated, but it's kind of mutual understanding between the three parties. I think so, because there is a maybe there is a. I mean, there would be a there should be a back channel communication when Iran has attacked. I mean, it launched missiles upon the Qatari Al Ubaid military base just a couple of hours back. So those guys called to the U.S. officials and told them that our missiles gonna come, and also uh, they also intimated to the Qataris. So as we know, I mean, there are although the Qatari government is supporting upfront terrorist organizations across Middle East, as we know, um, they have a direct responsibility of murdering of Colonel Gaddafi in Libya, and also they have an involvement in uncertainty creating in Syria, and also, as we know, they have a direct involvement through their propaganda channel Al Jazeera. Ironically, we're gonna also discuss the articles in Al Jazeera in the coming moment, and yeah, they have all. I mean, they have roots across the violent terrorist organizations, but they have pretty much advanced technology and modern technology in their own country. They don't encourage those terrorism tactics in their own country. But yeah, the point is, the Iranis has also intimated to Qataris that our missiles gonna fly over your territory, and they're gonna exactly hit the targets in Al Ubaid base. But there are no reported casualty because Iran had already told to the U.S. officials. So I think Donald Trump, the U.S. government does not want to take a risk. Uh, they don't want to have boots on ground on Iran because, as we observe, Iranian geography is very harsh. I mean, it is surrounded by mountains, uh, starting from Strait of Hormuz to the borders of Azerbaijan, Turkey, and also as you go from south, there are harsh deserts. I mean, we can say it is one of the harshest deserts in the world. Uh, Let me open the map and show you how the terrain of Iran would be. So as we go, as we select here, you see this. This is where Qatar stands, and this is the border of Iran because Google Maps doesn't show the borders in red mark. I don't know why it doesn't show for some countries. Maybe it has some obligations with neighboring countries to trade in their software in those countries, so it doesn't show the full on map, but as here we can see here, it's capital city Tehran, and you can see the mountain ranges, and also here it will be the entire part is guarded with mountain ranges, and this is Bandar Abbas. This is the main port in Iran, in the southern part of Iran, and this this area is Strait of Hormuz, and it is like minimum 20 miles to 30 miles of radius, and sorry, the distance between Iran and the Muscat. Sorry, the Oman, the land of Oman and UAE. So they can really choke this point if they want, but I don't think so. They would dare to touch this because the point is they don't want to risk to block entire Strait of Hormuz, and they have the capability, but they have a stockpile around 4,000 to 5,000 missiles. I don't know the exact number, but they don't. Their entire air defense is wiped out. So they don't have any air defense in case US again want to come into their air defense. Yeah, it would be very hard for them uh, to counter those air defense systems for the US. So that's why the Strait of Hormuz. I don't think so. They would completely block it, but in coming days, we don't know. But eventually, after the striking of Qatari US airbase, Trump posted in Truth Social that there is a agreed ceasefire in coming 6 hours, maybe coming in this morning time. In couple of hours, there would be a ceasefire. I don't think Israelis will agree for this ceasefire. Let's see what Bibi Netanyahu would say. Maybe he will hold a press meet or something else. But in coming hours, there is a latest news. Uh, Israeli missile, Iranian missiles attack the southern town of Beersheba. We can search here, Beersheba. Yeah. So there's a southern city, Beersheba. It recently hit missile strikes from the Iran, and three people are dead as per the latest updates. Casualties may increase, but right after Trump announced the ceasefire, there is an immediate hit in Beersheba, and also vice versa. Israelis are also hitting the capital city of Tehran. So I don't know. The situation is very volatile, and there will be a spillover of sectarian violence also because Iran is primarily a Shia country, and the thing is. It is more than 90% Shia, and if they want to do a regime change, I don't think so. It would be a regime change coming soon because the country is a huge country. You can see the borders with Azerbaijan, Armenia, and Turkmenistan and Afghanistan. As I told you earlier, there is a harsh desert bordering this area. You can see this is a Kandahar area, and see the city Jabal, and from here to here the desert part is very huge, Jahidan. So this area is huge desert and very dry, extremely dry in the whole world. As you can say, it's equal to Patagonia and or Atacama. You can say in that way, very dry. So it's very hard to groundly invade, and nobody knows how many tunnels are there in Iran because recently the Israelis are very hard to take over the Gaza. As we see, it's not completely taken over due to the huge tunnel network. The tunnel network is greater than the London tunnel network. Some say, yeah, Iranians are also preparing because their rhetoric chanting death to America from 30 years, and also US has a direct target for Iran because They invaded Iraq. They had operations in Syria, and they are also involved in Libya. So eventually, their part will also come, and Iranians know that very well. So they are preparing for that, and many intelligence sources are also confirmed that Iran has large tunnel networks in major cities. So it's very hard to invade Iran by ground because the terrain is similar to Afghanistan. Because Afghanistan, here we can see there is Hindu Kush mountains from here all the way to Himalayas. Because Hindu Kush is technically a part of Himalayas, so it is more harder than Hindu Kush to invade. The terrain is very very hard because it's fortified from along the borders. I think it is a gift for Iranians because it is fortified all over the borders of Iran. So it's very hard to invade Iran from the ground. So and there is also spillover with the sectarian violence. Mm, there are many ethnic minorities in Iran. Like, as we can see, there is Turkmenistan, there are Turkmens, there are Afghanis in the Afghan border area of Iran, and Balochistan, because recent insurgency in the Balochistan from parts of Pakistan. So there are huge majority of Balochis in this region. Is called Sistan region. This region is called Sistan region. So there are also Balochis. There are also I mean Turkmens. We have ethnic Kurds, ethnic Kurdistanis, I mean Kurds, you can say. They are in the border of Turkey. So it would be all out spillover of small wars all over Iran, and it's very hard to conquer Iran by ground. So in this situation, maybe Donald Trump, maybe his advisors told, I think the war doesn't want to sustain very long because as compared, Iran is continuously releasing missiles towards Israel. Israel is a very small country. It's compared, it is uh, 80 or 90 times smaller than Iran. So maybe the Israelis are begging for the ceasefire. I don't know what's the reason. And some internal sources are also saying Israelis are bending towards the ceasefire agreement with Iran. But there are some conditions. In the coming hours, we can see what are those conditions. But the present situation is Israelis are suffering heavy losses in terms of infrastructurally, not in terms of casualties, because uh, every major town and every major city and every major building in Israel technically have a bunker, underground bunker, so they are very well prepared. Uh, their casualties are very low, but uh, economically, it doesn't sustain long for Israel. It's very hard because recently they lost $520 billion. There is a saying that they are lost $520 billion in shares because Iranian missiles directly hit the Israeli stock market in Tel Aviv, and also they are continuously harming the port city of Haifa. There are a lot of investment from many countries, so it's also a huge risk. So as we can see in the Associated Press article, the Qatari military officer said Iran fired 19 missiles at U.S. Al Udeid air base in Qatar, and one impacted the facility, but no casualties. As we discussed earlier, there are no casualties. Yeah. So by this article, you can know Associated Press is telling there are 19 missiles released at U.S. released towards U.S. Al Ubaid Air Base. Okay, there is a breaking news 25 minutes ago. Israeli emergency services say the death toll is 7 people in Beersheba. So, as we spoke previously, there are 3 casualties. It is increased up to 7 casualties. So, the situation is very gravely concerned. Even after the ceasefire, the two countries are exchanging missiles on another. So, I don't know what will happen. So, there are a couple of scenarios. Either the U.S. will have a second wave of airstrikes towards Iran, or they will hold on to this ceasefire, because while Trump announced a ceasefire in the Truth Social, this attack occurred in Beersheba, which was from the Iranian missiles. So yeah, so its situation is very grave. So Israel closes its airspace. Okay, Israeli airport authorities said the barrage from Iran forced them to close skies to all passenger planes. Okay, that's very concerning, because Ben Gurion Airport is already operating in very low level. Like 80% of the flights were cancelled and 20% are operating. But even though they are fully closed now, because the situation is very tense, as we can see. Yeah. So they closed all their airspace. By the way, the Qataris are also closed their airspace, and also UAE guys, United Arab Emirates, Dubai, and also Bahrain. So Middle East, especially the countries in the Strait of Hormuz, Kuwait, and all, they all closed uh, those airspaces. So situation is unraveling. It is situation is very volatile and dynamic. We don't know what will happen. May happen. The situation may change in a couple of hours or a couple of days, because it's very volatile. So I think we got an update, and also Iranian state TV has announced a ceasefire update has begun. Okay, that is ceasefire has begun in its war with Israel, even in Israel warned the public of new missile barrage from. It wasn't immediately possible to reconcile the messages from Iran and Israel on 12th day of their war. So the war is up to now. It is 12th day. So Iranian state television. So Iranian state television announced a ceasefire in a graphic on screen, not immediately acknowledging the new missile barrage. So yeah, even though they released the missile barrages, they are announcing that there is a ceasefire from Iranian state television. So are you okay? That's good. If there is a peace prevailing between the two countries temporarily, that is good. So we can see the propaganda channel, Al Jazeera. We can see what's happening. Al Jazeera is saying fired missiles. Okay, IRGC said on Tuesday that it fired missiles at Israel in response to deadly Israel attacks against people in Gaza and Lebanon, as well as I don't know what's the reason. I don't know. I think IRGC should concerned about their own citizens right now, because they are the guys in US, the guys in Pentagon, and the guys in Israel are firmly towards the regime changing in Iran, and these IRGC guys are fully concentrating on the people of Gaza and Lebanon. I don't know what will happen. The Israeli army say only a few hits were recorded in the southern parts of country. Okay, two people were injured from falling shot. Well, I think these news are not updated news, but recent news we can see there are 7 casualties. Okay, and we can see the updated news here. Latest news we can see death toll rises to 4 in Beersheba. This is updated news, and Israel rear. Okay, this we had already gone through. Okay, it's closer to 8 spaces. Okay, the situation is tense. Maybe we don't know what Donald Trump will take next steps. I don't think so. There will be a full blown war, because it's very hard to conquer Iran by land, and there should be only the airspace. I mean, there will be only the utilization of airspace, because I don't know how many times they will pound the bombs. I mean, there is no use, but the guys in US doesn't want to see the body bags, so they are not willing to go on the ground, because majority of MAGA supporters for the Trump are against the war. So I don't think the Trump administration will go for full blown war. They have um, there will be a status quo. Ultimately, there will be a status quo between Iran and Israel with certain conditions. Yeah, that would be it. So please like, share, and subscribe. I will be posting updated news for you guys in coming hours. So please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.